In this lesson, we're going to learn about data structures. So far, we have seen individual basic data type like integers, floats, boolean, and string. Integers like 2, floating points like 3.8, boolean, let's call it true, and a string, single or double quotation of, I'm going to call it high. Today we're going to learn about lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Those are grouping. When we group this individual basic type, we can make a list or tuples or dictionary or sets. But each of those have their own characteristic. Mostly they call them containers of data. For example, you have a container and full of data, and sometimes inside of the container there is another container of data. The first one we're going to start is lists. Lists, it will come up with a bracket. For example, I'm going to say L1 equal to set of 2, 3.8, true, and high. As you guys can see, we have an integers, we have a floating point, we have a boolean, and we have a string. I can print, if I say print L1, it will print the exactly set, which is 2, 3.8, true, and high. If I ask Python what is the length of L1, it gives me this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It will print 4. Definitely I shouldn't put equal sign here. The next line gonna print 4. If I ask Python what is L1 bracket 0, this will give me the first data inside of my set, which will be 2. So 2 will be printed. If I say what is L2, L1, 1, this will point it to 3.8. If I said list 1, 2, it will be true, and L1, 3, it will print me high. List, I'm able to change the variable. For example, this 2 at the beginning, I can change it to something else. Like I can say L1, can say L1 0 equal to 88. Not the value of 88 replaced by 2. If we print L1, we will get 88, 3.8, true, and a string high. In list, we also can have another list inside of the list. Let's say we have L2 equal to set of 3, 5.9, comma, set of 2, 3, hello, and true. So this is an example that inside of the list there is another list. If we ask Python what is the length of L2, we're going to have 1 for this one, 2, 3, and 4. So the length will be 4, but the index will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Also inside of the list, we are able to have repeated number, so we don't get any error. Example, L3 can be 1, 1, 1. So 1, 1, 1 will be inside of variable L3. We learned about lists. Python provides another container, tuple. In Python, tuple is similar to lists, except objects in tuple are immutable, which means we cannot change the element of a tuple once we create it. In lists, we put the data inside of the bracket, but tuple we use parentheses or no parentheses. For example, tuple 1 equal to parenthesis 2, 3.8, true, and high. If we ask what is length of tuple 1, we will get, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The output will be 4. If we ask print, parenthesis, tuple 1, I'm using bracket for the index. If I put 0, I will get output 2. If instead of 0 I put 1, I point to 3.8, and 2 will point to true, and 3 it will print the last element, high. And we are also able to create a tuple with other parentheses. For example, tuple 2 equal to 3, 4.8, false, and hello. So if you say print tuple 2, it will print it inside of the parenthesis. We learned about lists and tuples. The third one is sets. Sets are containers of unique elements without any particular ordering, which means there are no indices for the data inside of sets. We are able to add a random element or remove a random element from the sets. We are also able to make a list to a set. We write the sets in curly brackets. Let's have a few examples. Set 1 equal to bracket 3, 3.8, true, and high. we are able to find the length of set 1, which this is first, second, third, and fourth. So the output will be 4. We are able to add, for example, set 1 dot add, I'm going to add 80, for example. So this 80 will be added somewhere inside of the set. So we're not sure it's going to add at the end or add at the beginning or at the middle because there is no index. We are able to remove set 1 dot pop parenthesis. This will remove a random variable from our sets. If we have a list like my list equal to 2, 5, 3, 5, 5, 9, 3. This is a list. If I make my set, so I'm creating a new variable, my set equal to set parenthesis my list. This is a built-in function. It creates my list, which is here, to set. And definition of set was there is no index, but all the elements should be unique. So it will remove the 5 and remove one of the 3. So my set, if you print it, we will get 2, 5, 3, and 9. So all the unique. So they will remove all the repeated one. Our next data structure is dictionary. In Python, dictionary is an unordered collection of items, which each item in dictionary has key and value pair. Rather than storing a single object like lists and set do, dictionary store a pair of elements, key and values. We use curly brackets for dictionary, and inside will be key, colon, value, and then comma, the next key and values. Let's have some example. My dictionary equal to name, K1, comma. So this is my first pair of elements. So this will be, the first one will be key, the second one will be value of this key. Now I'm going to say state is California. I'm going to say ID is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now this will be a container of data as dictionary for this variable. We are able to print everything inside of the dictionary, which will print name, K1, state, California, ID, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are able to get the value of a key like print my dictionary dot get. So this get a value, if I say state here, it will get the value California. So this will be the output. We are also able to change the value. For example, let's change the ID value. We can say my dictionary dot, not my dictionary, so this is gonna go to this container. ID equal to, let's say 555. So this 555 will be go here and this will go away. So we can replace it. We also can use a built-in function in. The in will works like this. Print name in my dictionary. So this print true and false. So this in is a built-in function. So this is a key, and this in function is gonna go to my dictionary and check if there is a name as a key. If there is, it will print true. If not, it will be false. In our example, we do have a name, so it will be true. We also can use this in for lists and sets. Now you have a better idea about the data types, data structures, and all the containers of data. As a data analysis, you will be dealing with data all the time. So a solid understanding of data types and data structures makes you to write a more efficient code. You will see some exercises for this week. Some of them might be simple, but some of them will be a little complicated. You will be a better programmer if you start challenging yourself. And I didn't go over all the topics for the data structures. You just have some idea about each type. So in exercise, you need to do some Googling. You have to research how do we do, for example, removing or adding to lists or adding a list to the dictionary. So some of them are complicated, but at the end, you will be a good programmer. And also for the project, you will learn more because you need to do more research. But what I'm doing, I'm just providing you the foundation of Python.